Will the gods aid the corrupt, though they pray unceasingly? Will the gods neglect the righteous man, though he neglect prayer? Hey guys, this is John here in Los Angeles, Friday, June 14th, 2024. The Alpha Channel update, and today we've got Conan 64, which is a reprint of Savage Tales number 5, The Sorcerer of Skull River. And in this one, Conan is out on his own. It's after Amra. I don't have 63 or the ones leading up to that, what happens with Bellet. And actually, this is a fill-in book. It says here in the beginning that this is a fill-in story. This is not. Does not continue or break up the Amra Bellet story. So Conan is out looking for water, and he finds this guy who looks like a Grim Reaper, and he's asking him where he can find a river. And the guy directs him downstream, where on his way to water, he gets attacked by this giant who almost blasts him with a club, and he gets out of the way here on the second page. And they have a bit of a fight, and Conan dispatches that guy into off a cliff, off a mountainside. And then he finally does get to water, but the water is poison, and he's already wounded, and he passes out. So this is a great story. This one is awesome. Again, Roy Thomas and Jim Starlin. It's from Savage Tales number 5, originally in black and white, but in this one it's in color. And the color does not hurt it at all. The color is done well. There's a couple panels up here I can't wait to show you guys where some really cool stuff happens. This is a little bit of backstory. Conan makes a deal with the villagers. Basically, the villagers explain to him that upriver there's a wizard. Well, there's a sort of a wannabe emperor, like an earl or a land baron, and his wizard in a tower, and they have polluted the river. And so this is what's going on here in the villagers hire Conan to go find out what has caused this, and they promise him whatever he wants. They show him what's happening to them is they're all being poisoned. They're getting basically leprosy. Their skin is becoming diseased, and they don't have anywhere to go. It's their only source of water. They promise him the village hot girl, and she has made a deal with the sorcerer who supplies her with just enough water for her and her father. And Conan, takes advantage of this before he goes into the castle. And when he gets into the castle, he immediately, I'm sure she had some advice to give him about how to get in, but as soon as he gets in, he immediately gets trapped by the wizard and the baron, the land baron, sort of a small king, and their guards. And they send this giant dude, Grandal, who's Hanuman's brother, and these two guys are like they're well, there's only one way to say this. They're steroid-induced monsters. They are the golem of this wizard and his baron. And in this one panel, they even refer to the people downriver as cattle. Where have we heard that before? Oh, and I love this four circular panel bit with the Jolly Roger in the center. That's awesome. Like, that's going an extra mile. They could have made those 4 square panels and not done that. But that's just super cool. So Conan and this big guy make a deal, and they're going to go after the wizard and the baron, Sophos and whatever the other guy's name is. And they attack him, and they have a big fight. And so the crux of this story is, 1, the villagers have been betrayed by a wizard who's trying to do some nonsense. Oh, and here's his nonsense. The wizard he's a, what were they called? There's a specific name for these guys. Trying to do the Sorcerer's Stone, like Nicholas Flamel, the magicians who were trying to make gold out of base metals, and an alchemist. And so down here they're successful. The wizard finally has his first vial in this page, and the smoke comes up, and now this iron statue, instead of coming alive, it's now made of solid gold. And Conan and this other guy, this giant dude, attack, and blah, blah, blah. They have a really cool fight scene here. And, I want to show you this panel is so awesome. Check this out. So right here, this wizard, right? He's talking, doing the James Bond villain bit. And in black and white, it would have been much easier to see this guy. In the background is this guard, and then there's nobody, and then there's Conan. And so whoever else warns this guy, and then the fight starts. And that's That's beautiful. That's awesome. That's awesome in a movie. It's awesome in a comic book. And the crux of the story, again, is Conan gets the giant to trust him. The giant who's been betrayed by these guys, who told him that after being a giant for them, they'd be able to change him back to a normal person, which they can't. Once you get bubble gut from steroids and your kidneys and your liver are shot, then it's over. You know, you're going to have heart palpitations, a couple heart attacks. How much money you got? How many heart bypasses can you have done? I think Arnold's had like 6 or 8. I don't know whose heart that guy's got right now. So this is the last page is awesome. After they're successful, Conan comes back to the village and tells them that they're gonna, the wizard and the land baron are dead, and the water will be safe again, and there's gold up there, but you might not be healed. And here, down here at the bottom, this is the best. Conan comes to get his reward. So in the very beginning, the giant in the beginning killed Conan's horse, and that's why he had to go to the village, and blah, blah, blah. And down here, the girl thinks he wants her. He pushes her out of the way and says, I need a new horse. I got to get the hell out of here. And that is just a great story. That's Alpha Channel. And that's why I'm so glad, I'm not going to review superhero comics. Superhero comics aren't Alpha Channel. Punisher's not a superhero. I think Batman qualifies, but Batman's a rich kid playing games. He's a tourist. So Alpha is toxic but not hateful. That's my goal for this brand. And Han Solo shot first. So that's essentially what this is. I have a couple books here I want to talk about. This is the Book of the Ninja. This is essentially the Ninja Bible by this Australian fellow, Anthony Cummins. And he traveled to Japan and met all these people who had the scrolls that had never been translated. And this is just a massive book of all the different ninja. Flipping through it isn't going to do it justice, but look at how thick it is. You should look this up on Amazon.com. I don't think there's much about it on the internet. I know Anthony Cummins has a website or a YouTube channel, and you should check out his stuff. He shows a lot of stuff, but this is just, in this book, I read the most amazing sentiment, and I can sum it up in a quick 2-sentence bit. Will the gods aid the corrupt, though they pray unceasingly? Will the gods neglect the righteous man, though he neglect prayer? And that is not Christian, that's Japanese. So, and then I'm going to have to recommend this every episode. The Robe by Lloyd C. Douglas. If you haven't read this, you don't know Christianity from the Roman soldier's perspective. At least not in this book. This book is such a beautiful exploration of Christianity through an alpha mindset. How can you have power and not use force? That's what this is about. You should check it out. It's amazing. So Conan, one more thing. Wildwood Tarot. Today we have the Woodman, number 11. Here's the box. There's the book. Wildwood Tarot. Here's the card, the Woodman. Check out the 2 hands. They're so amazingly illustrated. This character, I love the warm colors, the natural colors, the earth tones. Everything about this card is really great. I'm going to move it back and forward just in case I'm not doing the camera justice. But yeah, amazing deck. What do I want to... I don't really have any political lectures. You guys see all the same stuff I do. Everyone knows Biden's not holding the marionette strings. No one thinks he's in charge. So that's the one rule in society is when you're responsible, you pay the bill. The buck stops with you. The boss of the company is responsible for the brand culture. And I don't see a brand doing what I'm doing. I want to be the South Park of toxic alpha masculinity. Not hateful, helpful. God helps those who help themselves. God's a destination. Become the God of your life. Be the main character of your story. Make all the decisions that are relevant to your life. Do you? Or does somebody else? Does somebody else make the calls about what you're going to do today, what you're going to do tomorrow, what kind of story you're going to write, what kind of story you're going to illustrate? Do you know what you want to say to the world? This is an interesting thing. It took me a long time to start this channel. I wasn't ready to start this at 30 like Jesus was. I had to wait a while. I think one of the things our society does wrong, in ancient Rome they said, the idea of a school is ridiculous. What can children learn from other children? But on the other hand, I was watching Alex Ramosi the other day, and he was talking about anything is scalable. If you have to do your business one-on-one, figure out how to do it 1 to 2, 1 to 6, 1 to 30, and condense your message so that it can reach more people and you don't have a lot of filler. Tony Robbins is all filler. The only important thing Tony Robbins ever said is, what are you thinking about? How does it make you feel? What are you going to do about it? So that's the world. That's your life. Wayne Dyer, the important thing he said is, don't die with your music still inside you. I'm getting my music out. That's what I have to do. I have to show you guys my art for today. I did a really cool orchard. This is the scene I was talking about that I was struggling with. How do I include this in my comic? Because I want to have the kids go past. There's a lot. We have two growing seasons out here in California. So we get a spring harvest and a fall harvest. And I want to have the kids go by a public orchard, an abandoned orchard, which has been given to the public, where they can go harvest oranges and grapefruits on their way to the skate park. And so last night I did this. It's only a single vanishing point. But there's a sidewalk, the fence, and the broken down fence, and a trail leading into the orchard. I'm really happy with this. I didn't get a lot more done than this. I touched up a couple drawings. I did some drills. I didn't do any skateboarding last night, just skated out to the car from home. So, but yesterday was a really good day. The orchard was good. I felt good. I was happy. That's what's important. Got my workouts done. Yesterday was arms, today's back. And now I just gotta get my shit together and get ready for tonight. I'm gonna do a lot of drawing tonight and got a good weekend lined up. I hope you guys have a great weekend lined up. I hope you all have a great weekend. It's Friday. I got back onto Twitter, or X, for the first time recently in, I don't know, since before Trump got elected the first time. Keanu Reeves has a good channel. He posts really cool shit. So check that out. All right, see you guys.